The following is an original audio series from Sierra International Machinery, Pile of Scrap, with your host, John Sacco.
All right, we're back at it, ISRI 2023, with another episode of Pile of Scrap, and I am happy to welcome the Lavelle family, or husband and wife, Michael and his wife, Lindy. Welcome.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
I met you two at Con Expo because you are fans of the docuseries Repurposed.
Your biggest fan.
I love it. Thank you. And you even loved it so much, Lindy, you said teachers of the school your kids go to need to show the kids this podcast.
Absolutely. I think it's very important.
Have they watched it? Have the teachers put it out there yet?
We did send it to one teacher. I'm not sure. I don't think she's gotten back to us yet.
And the head of school also, she watched it. Yeah, so we're going to keep working on trying to push that out there.
Well, see, what's really interesting meeting you folks is this, that you two have the same passion I have about telling the story about what our industry is and what it does, and the fact without us, nothing gets built. And you guys have that same passion. So we meet, and I'm like, wow, you guys have it. So has that always been since you got in, or is this something, also one day you went, you know what, I'm going after it? What was it?
I think it's all we know, honestly. Like, we grew up in the scrap yard since I was a little kid, and her grandpa was in the demo business, so she was kind of always around trucks, construction, etc. And then when we met, she was driving a dump truck for me, and then I told her I was going to marry her the first week I met her. She thought I was joking, but everything.
What did you think, Lindy? Hold on. I want to know what you thought when he says that. What did you think?
I did not believe him.
Well, that's not the point. What did you think? Did you think, yeah, no, or yeah?
Look at me now.
Now, 10 years and 3 kids later, but nope, I did not believe him. I have been in landfills my whole life, so I understand that it's very important to recycle material. So where he says I was driving the dump truck, I drove a hook truck, a concrete truck, and I'm very passionate.
Are you working at the yard now still?
Now I'm an online car buyer.
So yeah, she's involved heavily.
Because you're buying the cars for your shredding operation.
Yes,
so
sir.
you're an interesting dynamic, the two of you, because today in America, it's the monster companies that own so many of the shredders. Okay, SA has 131 yards with 27 shredders. Alter has something like 17, 18 shredders, and yet here it is, the two of you, and you guys have a shredder, and you're kicking ass.
One shredder, yep, and it's our life. We live it 24/7, never stops. We actually bought a baler, this RB 6000 over here on your booth, about 10 years ago, and so when I found Repurposed, I had the email sent to me because I'm on Sierra's emails, and that's how I found the video. And it's just the best way for people to realize what we do and how important it is. Because I feel like junkyard scrap, it's looked at like a dirty, ugly, bad job, or like we're the bad people. But
right. It's
so important to show people how important it is for the industry, for everyday living.
For our daily lives, if we stop and we think, and Repurposed, I'm hoping, has hit that message, because what we do, the materials, the metals that you process, from the iron to the copper to the aluminums to the stainless, okay? I do paper. I don't know if you guys do any paper. But we can't live our lives. We don't grow food. You guys are from Iowa, right? You're farmland.
Exactly.
How do you harvest food without steel? Because all those tractors, John Deere has their own foundries, and they buy their steel out of SSAB, a lot of their steel.
Yep. And even like I told you, we met at Con Expo, even somebody that has a shredder that's in recycling, you don't realize even until like you guys put the John Deere tractor in there, like you start thinking about it like, wow, it's even like down to food. Like it made me even think deeper than I normally did, somebody that does it every day. And imagine what the general public that has no idea about any of this, how do they look at it?
Well, I could tell you, and you know it too because you've shared it. The classic response is always, I had no idea. They have no idea that the car they drive has so much recycled content in it that you're not building it without the recycled materials industry. So I want to bring out a point. You said the junk business, the recycling business, the scrap business. We're changing those words because words matter. So when you say junk or you say scrap or you say, people think of ugliness. They think
Negative.
very negative. But when you say, hey, we're in the recycled materials industry, well, what's that? What do you recycle? Iron, copper, aluminum. They go, great, well, where do you go with it? I go, what? And that's when it opens the door to tell people, your appliances, your doorknobs, your car, your hospitals. Build a hospital without recycled materials. You cannot. Hospital beds. How about the scalpels made from the nickel alloys, the stainless operating table, all the medical devices that have aluminum stands with the copper wire, you just can't do it. So the health of a nation depends on our industry. The security of our nation.
Exactly.
How do you have a military without what we do?
You can't.
So you were telling me a story, now we'll go to a little bit on military. You guys live on 40 acres of land, and you go out and you target shoot with your kids, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Tell us what your kids are doing now after they target shoot.
They go down in the rock gardens and pick up all the bullet shells. They have their own Ziploc bag with their names on it, and we take it to work, and they realize how much it weighs, and then they get the cash for it.
They literally freak out. They fight over picking up the shells because they want to recycle the brass and get the money. And they also have a pop machine. Yeah, they have a pop machine in our non-ferrous warehouse. So she loads the pop machine, and they get the money off the pop machine. And
they have
trying
a
to
savings
teach
account.
them the responsibility of one, making a living, and two, they get to go over see the employees, the customers, and just how important it is, to go over there and do the labor and get the money out of it and learn the whole process.
Have your employees watched Repurposed?
Oh yeah, I've sent it to all. Yeah, all the
Okay,
managers,
and the reason why I
everybody.
say that because when I showed my employees this, they also said, "Wow,
It blows your mind.
I had no idea this is what we were doing." And then they say, "I am so proud to be part of this industry." And labor's hard to find. But when we could get people who are proud to work in an industry that is really all about sustainability, we can attract people.
Yeah, and just starting out with a positive, every morning you have to have that positive outlook. I feel like so much negativity and everything. If you can get your employees motivated, positive, to step out and let's do this together. We're all doing this. It's bigger than just me and her. This
Right.
is our deal. They take pride of it and they treat it like their own because they're we're all a family, part of a family.
Well,
We win together, we lose together.
I'm second generation. My dad was an immigrant from Italy, 1935, came to America after World War II. He and his partner, we were more in agri-packaging and dealing with rags, recycled rags and fiber products, but it morphed into metal recycling and then it morphed into an equipment company. But, it's the basic premise that our industry is the start of the manufacturing chain. Without us, look how many millions of dollars of equipment, and that's the steel. Look at the steel in this exhibit hall.
Everybody in this hall is a badass. You look at scrap guys, everybody, successful people, this equipment, all the stuff. People frown upon the scrap business, but it's really, I think it's the baddest guys in the whole industry. Nobody's gonna outwork us, I promise you, nobody.
Well, the director of Repurposed, I've known him, I've been dealing with Darren, we've been working together since 2010. Darren has said this is the most badass industry, and here's a guy
I
not
agree.
in it, right?
Yep.
But he thinks this industry is so badass because people work.
It's the most hardcore people on the planet.
They're hard, but it's okay. Just because you get dirt in your fingernails doesn't make an industry dirty.
Exactly.
Because the mills that use our product to make new metal products are saving huge on CO2 emissions. Energy reduction. It's not dirty. We're
Takes
saving
grit.
the environment.
It takes grit.
Episode 1, yeah.
I've watched every one of your videos. Yeah, and I even seen where, I think it was your dad, like you said originally, I was forced into the scrap business. I didn't have a choice. It was, you go to work every day, you have to make money. This is what we do. This is what you're going to do. I didn't have a choice. I want my kids to have a choice. Hopefully that I'm successful enough where they go to a nice school. If they want to do something different, I want them to do something different. Because I tell all my employees, if you're not happy here, if your heart's not in it, I don't want you to be here. So I remember the video where you said you originally didn't want to go into scrap.
That's right.
And your dad said, oh, you're a salesman? Sell this baler.
He asked me, okay.
And then you got pulled in.
Yeah, well, here's what it was. I went to USC. I graduated in 1984. And I was in the agri. When I got out my first job, $250 a week was my 1984. My weekly salary was $250. You got to love that. And I was out calling on the farmers because we sold agri packaging supplies, plus we had the metal recycling. I didn't know anything about metal recycling. I really didn't. I thought if the magnet stuck to it, it had to be more valuable because the magnet sticks to it.
Well, I learned by the pound.
I learned a lesson that way. So anyway, my dad was, we dabbled in a couple of the machines, not many. And in 1986, he sold the agri-packaging, and I was going to go work for a McDonald's. I wanted to buy a McDonald's. That's
do
all right,
chain,
because I didn't know anything about brass, copper. I just didn't. Okay, it really wasn't my thing. So he comes into my cubicle, looks over, and goes, "What'd you take at SC? Marketing?" I went, "Yeah." He threw the brochures on my desk. He says, "We'll market this machine." So you and I kind of had the same.
Sell this.
Yeah.
Here's this pen. Sell it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is you and I kind of got into the same. I don't begrudge it, but I'm like you. My daughter's 24, going to be 24 here, and she works for Fox Sports. My son's at TCU, and he's an amazing golfer, and I want him to chase his golf dream because it's his dream. He loves it. It's a passion. So, Mama, okay, let's get back to you. You've been silent for your kids. What do you want for your kids? I mean, you grew up. Look at you. You've driven trucks. You're in this industry. Your hands have gotten dirty as well. Now you're a mother of 3. Okay, you guys are successful. Besides happiness, and when you look at your kids, what do you want from that? What do you want to encourage them to do?
Well, we are both so passionate about what we do. I don't think there is an option in my mind. I think they will follow what mommy and daddy do.
How old are your kids?
9, 7, and 4, and my 9-year-old and my 7-year-old are competitive swimmers. They're
boys, girls?
Girl, boy, then girl.
Okay.
The oldest 2 are in competitive swimming.
All right, let's hear it.
Mercedes. Michael the third is an M3 BMW, and then Porsche is our youngest.
So wait a minute. Now tell us the story about you. You have a Ferrari, and you use it for marketing, right?
Yeah. So when we started out, I don't know if I've heard any success story of when someone starts a shredder, like how, it's always hell coming out of it till you figure out the learning curve, the competition, the marketing, the spare parts, finding the crew to run it, figuring out, dealing with the mills, selling your orders. So when we started out, obviously it was a horrible struggle. It was the hardest thing we've ever done in our lives. But once you feel like you kind of get going and you get a little extra money and stuff's working, I said, a lot of people talk shit or poke fun and said, yeah, these guys aren't going to make it. Well, once I felt like we were doing good enough, she sold her rental house and said, you work so hard, go buy your dream car. Go get this car that you've wanted forever. So I buy a bright red Ferrari and I put Shred the World down the side of it. And people are just like, what the hell? But to me, I would not have that car without Shred the World. So I want everybody
without
to
an
know
incredible wife.
And her, yeah.
That's a pretty amazing story.
She pushed me and helped me to get where we are, obviously. Without her and my kids, I could have been a tow truck driver making $100,000 a year and just been satisfied in life. Never went any further. She said, get out there and do something, make it happen. And that's where now I want to build the empire. I have everything I want in life. I just want my wife, my kids to be happy. And like you said, I don't care what profession or job they go into. I just want my kids to be happy and successful.
Yeah,
And give them the option.
Yeah, give them the option. So I tell my son and I tell my daughter that she's here this week, and she came from the NASCAR race, Martinsville, and because she works on the live TV thing, not in front of the camera, but the whole thing. And she's going to Talladega on Thursday because of her job. But she loves coming to ISRI. I know she likes it. My brother last year goes, Giovanna, do you want to come in? She's not ready yet. She's not ready yet. My son, I had to join a country club in Fort Worth so he can chase his golf dream because he got frustrated in September. I go, how's it going with golf? He says, Dad, he goes, not real good. He goes, I have nowhere. I have to go to practice at a municipal court and I can't go out on a course and play. And I said, I'm going to join the club because he's a really good golfer and he loves golf. So he got to experience playing with an actual PGA Tour member, ranked 30th in the FedEx Cup this year. Got to play with him Sunday. In fact, John Carl's got to know him, and he said, hey, John Carl will be on my team today because they have this game at the club.
That's amazing. That experience right there could change a kid's life.
And he was so thrilled in his voice when he talked to me. So, it's like, I don't care if they come into Sierra, but if they're thrilled and happy with what they're doing, isn't that what we want as parents?
Yes.
Exactly.
But I think it's great. Look, you two. So, are you at the office every day early? Well, you're selling car. Where are you buying and selling car? Online? Just at home?
I have a cop computer mount
That's
in my
confidential.
Escalade.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
Doctor's appointments. I'm always on the
She's
option.
on the laptop nonstop. Like we literally.
I did cross-train some office girls, so I'm able to sit here right now. Otherwise, I would be on IAA in Des Moines. But I'm always on it.
And the nice part is, like, all we do is run the numbers, break down, what's the car worth, what can we shred it for, what's the converter average, what's all this stuff. And the nice thing about her is she understands the shredding business and the scrap business because it's all I talk about. Like, literally 24/7. We could be at the bar at midnight tonight, and I'm probably going to be talking about work. That's all I know. That's why I said I don't know any different
about it.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. And you, obviously, Lindy, you love it too.
She's
let's face it.
addicted.
Yeah,
She loves it.
I know it because when I met you in Con Expo and how you were telling me about Repurposed and how it's because not the show was what was making you excited. What was making you excited was the fact that, hey, I get to finally tell the story of what we do, and can I share it? And I said, well, of course you can. Now, hold on. You said something, and I was going to miss this, but you're running numbers. So we meet in Vegas, and you send me a link to your website. I loved it.
Thank you.
Numbers, the spinning
it's a huge
numbers
compliment coming from you, obviously. But yeah, the role of the numbers. It just reminds me of, like, think about the casino when people get hyped up about winning money. To me, it's when they're scrapping, selling that copper, selling that car, looking at their ticket. We're all rolling numbers. We're rolling money, and it is exciting.
Well, but it's a great, innovative website. I loved it because it was like, I have never seen anything like it. Look, websites can get stale real quick, and we're going to revamp.
Scrap websites. I feel like they're just dull. Like, I wanted to market that and let's make it cool. Let's make it exciting.
I want you. Okay, you have a voice right now, and this podcast. People listen to this podcast. I have more.
I'm well aware.
People stop me in elevators and places I've gone to say, "Hey, I love your podcast." So you got a voice right now, Michael. Tell the people who listen something they need to know and what they need to be doing about telling our story.
Like you said, I think everybody looks at scrap or recycling in a negative manner. I think it's absolutely amazing. I love my job. I'd rather not be doing anything else on the planet. We can make it fun. We can make it positive. Let's make it marketable. Let's make a brand, right? Shred the world. Black and red, Ferraris, G-Wagons, we can work hard and we can get anything we want in life. If we put in the time, run the numbers, work hard, let's make it something unique that not everybody else is doing.
That's so awesome.
It doesn't have to be dull or boring. I think scrap is just fucking awesome. 100%.
Well, it is. It's just, it takes grit. You got to be a gritty human. But again, it's just, our country's independence depends on what guys like you and the women like you do every day in our industry. Because how are we going to have independence? How are we going to build our roads and our infrastructure and our military, et cetera, without what we do? And I
she
love the
does
fact
an amazing job, you know, like as my wife, we've had people say like, oh, you guys are together too much. 24/7, we're Shred the World. It never shuts off. When you own it and you love it, it never shuts off.
and you love it too, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so you got a voice right now. People are going to hear you, Lindy, right now. Tell us.
Give him the woman perspective.
Once a year, our children in every school go outside and pick up trash. I think they should be educated on metal and recycling more than just the trash. Like you said, the blue bin. I think we should teach the children that.
I love that.
So it starts with them.
If they
They're
pick
our
up a
future.
pop can, if they pick up a
So we
piece of
teach
metal.
them now. Maybe this can all be better in 10, 20 years. Maybe it won't be looked at ugly anymore.
Well, I feel like with the two of you, I have a team, more teammates to spread the word.
Takes everybody.
I want to thank the both of you because really, I love it, your passion. I love how you want to get out there and spread the word, get out to the kids, start teaching them. See, I love that. It's just undeniable. And you know what? I feel like with the two of you, we will have this relationship and we will help spread the word. It starts with one, then two, and then it spreads.
Exactly.
Keep spreading the good word. Keep doing what you're doing. Be safe at what you're doing. You know, thank you for coming here, sitting down with me, and giving us what I think is an exciting podcast of passion about our industry. And you guys are young.
Yeah. We got a long ways to go.
Yeah, you do. Thank you, Lindy. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, yeah.
Thank you.
It's just so, what a great podcast. Well, thank you again, and that's it for another episode of Pile of Scrap, ISRI 2023.
This has been a Sierra International Machinery original audio series. Thanks for listening. Please share this podcast and make sure to subscribe.